Okay, so I watched a Pretty Black Magic. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. Pretty Black Magic's video on Jessica X with Saint and Sinner or whatever, and I don't get one part of this. The first part of them saying that Jessica X bashes black women. I understand that. The problem I find with this whole situation is half the things that lady says is the same thing my mother says, and she's a black woman. I've seen many black women say the same thing about black women. And to me, it's like, okay, if black women say it about other black women, isn't there an in house issue? Is there something going on? I don't know. To me, that's one of the things I just think. It's just like, well, black women say it about black women. There might be an in house issue. You know, with my personal perspective is that I personally try to not focus on the negative with black women. And I've always had that perspective. I've always come with more of a positive view because honestly, when it comes to dark skinned black women and dark skinned black men, it's kind of like between the two, I prefer dark skinned black women. I wouldn't say that about black women of other colors. I do have a preference towards darker black women over other complexions of women. But yeah, it just seems like it's a bit easier to get along with them. But anyway, my point is, it's just that, regardless of color or anything, I do think that there sometimes is an in house issue kind of situation, because why is it black women will say the same thing as Jessica X in some regards? I'm not saying everything, I'm just saying some things that she says I've heard all while growing up, and I have a dark skinned black mother. Um, Personally, like I said, I don't try to judge black women or black men for that matter. The thing is, with black men, it's hard to work with them. Black women, it's easier because, like, for example, my mother always said that black women and black women in general were hostile to her and wanted to beat her up and things of that nature. And I learned when interacting with black women, if I had a very friendly and very submissive perspective towards them, they would usually not come about aggressively, basically. And it worked out pretty well, basically. Those type of black women, it was pretty good. But black men, it's like, it's always been a bigger issue for me because no matter how you deal with a black man, he's always still trying to hit on you. He's still trying to be problematic, and then eventually he's gonna harass you and get angry because you're not gonna be receptive and you're gonna have to reject him. It's really hard to me trying to interact with black men, while black women, even the ones who my mother always said were going to be problematic, who I found may have fit that stereotype, it always worked out, basically, with black women. So, my point in saying all this is just, I kind of feel like, though, yes, she does attack black women and is probably coming from a place of, trying to get super chats. I do think that there is some sense of material that people get from being anti black women. They use the worst of black women and try to exemplify it and then basically try to make it the focal point, even though not all black women even fit this stereotype. Many black women do not. and even those who do, to me, I don't know, they just seem like they're easy to work with, even if they do fit the stereotypes they bring forth. Now, on the whole issue of Jessica X being a transsexual or whatever, trying to basically not cam up, I would say it was weird to me to say that you. She was saying something about she would ask to expose herself or show her, uh, vagina or whatever to prove that she wasn't trans or whatever. Heard a clip saying that. Um, I just wanted to speak to that part. We, I don't understand why people say things like that, because transgender people can have vaginas too. That's what the whole vaginal about. You know, to me, honestly, to prove you're not trans, it wouldn't have to do with anything on your body, because people can always get surgery for that. You would actually you could easily show your DNA results showing that you don't have a Y chromosome. That's something that transgender people can't change. What makes someone a female and a male starts at conception. You know, life starts at conception. So, of course, your gender starts, your sex starts at conception, and that's your chromosomes. So, I mean, like, if you wanted to prove that you weren't trans, and this is for anyone, you would literally have your DNA results, which it literally show that you have an X chromosome, not a Y chromosome. And on 23andMe, it literally says, if you are lacking a Y chromosome, it says it there. That's why you don't have a Y haplogroup. Because for men, they have a Y haplogroup. And when they have it, it shows what their haplogroup is. It's really sucky, too, honestly, personally, because my dad died, and I kind of hate it because it's really hard for females to find out what their haplogroup is. I'd have to go to my grandfather, and I'm pretty sure he's very distrustful of DNA results. So, it's really sucky. Anyway, just thinking of that, I know. Because I've taken so many DNA tests. I think I've taken 3 DNA tests, DNA analysis, 4 different times. This is why when people ask me about my percentage in African ancestry, it's like problematic because people will ask what the results were, but the results changed because I took too many tests. Like, I've taken 5 different tests. I've taken 3 actual tests, then I've taken like DNA Land and other DNA processors at the same time. So, yeah, that's why I always say somewhere in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, that's a tangent. Sorry about that. But basically, my point in doing this video is just to say, well, one, I don't really know. I don't really care if the person's transgender, one, but if they wanted to prove if they were transgender or not, just show your chromosomes, your DNA results. But, they won't even show their face, so I'm pretty sure they won't show their DNA results. So, people could gather that that's a transgender person. I wouldn't really care. I don't watch them really anymore, but when people make videos like this, it makes people want to watch their channel. Just letting people know. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say in this video. I'm pretty much done with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Bye.